What is good, guys? Welcome back to another video here on the channel. I know it's been a little bit, guys. I've missed you. It's just been a crazy summer with a couple different trips, but we're back home for the foreseeable future. Should be able to upload much more consistently, and Hoop is right around the corner, boys. I'm excited. But today's video is going to be on Jonathan Kuminga of the Golden State Warriors. Headed into year 4, and he still has not broken out yet, but the dude is absolutely dripping with talent. So today's video is, again, going to be a little bit shorter like the Franz video. We're just going to run through some of his plays of the year, kind of like a mini profile, right? Just look at, what he is capable of as a player, talk about what we see going forward. And a reminder in all of this, right? Like, a lot of casual basketball fans, and I get it, right? I do get it. But they get so frustrated when guys don't pan out right away, when they don't produce right away. And I think you see a little bit of that with Kuminga. But I just want to remind you, like, he is 20 years old. He cannot drink yet. And you think back to when you were 20, right? Like, there's a lot of growing up that happens, from age 20 to 25. And you got to remain patient with these guys, especially when they have the talent and the tools that Jonathan Kuminga does. And on top of that, the Warrior system is very much read and react. It's hard to pick it up right away. But before we get into the clips itself, here's a brief overview of his season via Basketball Index. Again, this is not me. This all comes from Basketball Index. It's a fun tool. Again, not an end-all be-all when it comes to stats. I form my opinions off the eye test and then use stats to back up things and provide context. But again, all eye tests, you'll see as we get into these clips. Graded out well as a finisher, not surprising given the tools. Graded out well as a perimeter ISO defender, also not surprising. Kind of underwhelming in every other aspect. But let's waste no more time, guys. Let's get into the clips themselves. Alright, guys, so I think this clip does a good job of illustrating how Jonathan kind of gets in his head sometimes because he's just trying to make the right play. Look at him look for the pass here. Santee is completely dropped off of him, and it's like, no, bro, just go. You have a lane with your tools. Go be aggressive and attack. You don't always have to make the right play. Go use your gifts, and this is a great example. Like, if Santi Aldama is on you and is giving that much space, attack. He does, and he punches that easily. And why do we want him to attack? Because he has physical gifts that very few people have. Look at this. Up fake, blow by Zion, Devontae Graham, no chance. Like, clear the runway. There's very few guys that just have this level of bounce. So you have to respect this shot fake, right? Buy him, and then there's no chance you're getting in the way and stopping that. Like, use that physical gift that you have. And I just want him to be more decisive, like in this clip, right? He catches, Nas on him, rip, go, Carl rotates over. Too late. Jonathan Kuminga is punching that. And we'll slow it down a little bit here. I want you guys to notice how on this catch, look how Karl Anthony Towns is 1 foot away from the restricted area. Jonathan Kuminga is gathering up, ready to go. He's at the 3-point line, right? Like, Karl Anthony Towns, in theory, should be able to rotate over and help. I know he takes one step out, but that is the type of juice that Jonathan Kuminga has getting downhill that you just have to utilize. And it's not like teams don't recognize it, right? Like, here he's matched up with a 5 in Luke Cornett, and look at the amount of space that he's giving him. And it'd be one thing if Jonathan Kuminga was just a straight line driver and he couldn't beat dudes off the dribble. Jonathan Kuminga is much more than just a straight line drive guy. Like, yes, if no one steps up, he'll go punch it, but he can also break you down off the dribble like that. And in theory, when a big like that is giving that much space, you shouldn't be able to beat him to the rim. Kuminga gets that angle, remains patient, and just goes and lays it up and in. All right, here's another example of the downhill juice against the Pelicans. We're going to freeze it off the catch. Look, he's decisive. He's ready to go. Zion, again, giving him space because they respect the downhill speed, but almost too much space because it turns into a little bit of a runway. It's still going to be hard to split both Zion here and J-Val here in this gap. He does. Left hand, picks it up, cups it, punches it at the rim. That's just juice. All right, so we've already talked a lot about how oftentimes he's matched up with 4s and 5s and how he's just a mismatch because he's so much faster than them. Be decisive and go. Well, let's take a look at when we get a guard matched up with him in semi-transition. This is Bones Highland. Watch this. Right to left cross. Euro back around him and through him. Finish with the left before Plumlee can fully help at the rim. And that is why he's such a mismatch. Because big guys he's too fast for, and then you get a little guy like Bones on him, bro, I'm Euroing right around and through you and finishing before the help can get there. Okay, next we're just going to take a look at a couple plays that just showcase the ridiculous athleticism that he has. Honestly, a lot of these clips has, but these are next level, okay? Look at the force that he generates from a standstill gather drop step. Like, oh my lord, he absolutely destroys Bane here. There's no run up, there's no runway. He catches, gathers, and punches it on his head. Good lord, dude. Here are a couple putbacks. This is going to be a tip. This is when Clay starts to shoot the shot and Kuminga starts to crash. Again, he does get a little bit of a runway here, but it's still like only 3 steps. He jumps up and over through jaw. He's hanging on the side, is able to tip it up with his right into the basket. That's freakish, bro. That's freakish. And here we go in Houston. This one's even more impressive because he's going to go up, run, and this is not like a normal, you just catch it straight, cock it back, and throw it back down. He's on the side of KJ Martin with his hand on the side of the ball. He has to be able to catch that, control it, and put it back. Like, this dude is just a freak. All right, here he's going to stalk down Big Z like an absolute lion in the night. Look at this. Watch him trail Zion and then time this up. Ah, give me that. Give me that. Like, how many guys are able to do that? I know he's somewhat impeded by Jordan Poole, but that is ridiculous. Okay, I love this play. He's matched up with Anthony Edwards in space. He's going to get screened out of the picture. It would be very easy for him at this point to just kind of hang out at the perimeter, right? Now he's just on Garza. Anthony's kind of already gone, but what does he do? He comes out of nowhere and sends that shit completely out of bounds. He has ridiculous weak side rim protection, and I love that he stayed attentive on this drive despite being screened out of the picture. All right, in this next play, he completely takes P.J. Washington's lunch money. You see some of the on-ball chops right here. And P.J. Washington's not a bum. Like, we wish Clay had made this. Would have been absolutely electric. But P.J. Washington's not a bum. He's a good offensive player. And Kuminga is just all up in him, rips the ball away from him. Like, he has crazy defensive potential as well. All right, so we've already seen the vertical pop and how he just has crazy athletic gifts, but he also can finish with finesse too, right? So here he's going to get it in a pick and roll situation. We'll freeze it here. Nick Claxton's a really good rim protector, and he's in decent position. But watch as Kuminga engages him, gets him up in the air, and then he's able to readjust, glide in the air, and finish with the left. So it's not just always about overpowering you and hammering it on you. He has some finesse and skill at the rim as well. All right, this is a great outlet by Dre to get Kuminga going in space, but here we go. Downhill on McCall, spin off, up fake to get him out of position, and then go finish it at the rim, right? Like, he's not super polished yet. Again, he's 20 years old, but there's flashes of it here. Like, this is really nice. This is getting McCall out of the play just without using freakish athleticism. Here's a little mix of both. He's going against Najee Marshall, who beats him to the spot here, but boom, spins off, up fake to get him out of the picture, and then now you use your physical gifts to go lay it up at the rim, because someone not as athletic and not as big, Larry Nance, is probably challenging after that initial pump right here. But with Jonathan Kuminga, you can't, and that's what I'm trying to see, right, is the mixture of the crazy athletic gifts and the skill. All right, so this was a ridiculous finish, and I want you to notice how much ground Isaiah Hartenstein is giving him. Like, Kuminga ideally should be getting deeper into his body to create more leverage and a better angle on the spin. He doesn't even do that and is still able to finish with a really tough lefty lay over a 7-footer while fading out. So it's not just athleticism, right? Like, it is actual skill, and you start to blend the two, and you start to see why I am so excited about him. All right, next we're going to get to a very important aspect of his game that I want him to develop, which is his ability to create shots for himself in the mid-range. You see it with a lot of guys, right? We saw it last video with Franz. But get to your spots, create enough space, and shoot up and over the top of guys, especially because they have to respect your downhill ability so much. And we'll see some of the good and some of the bad. This is good. He's going to catch, decisively decide to attack Jericho Sims, initiate the bump, create the space, rise up, and calmly hit the jumper. And I want you guys to notice, right, Jericho Sims is a legit solid 6'10", 250, and this bump does not affect Jonathan Kuminga at all. He's still on balance, he's straight up, and he gets to his spot and drills it. All right, this is also good here. Kevin Huerter closing out. He attacks the closeout, drives it. He's just too big, rises up, and shoots over Kevin Huerter. Nothing really Huerter can do, right? Kuminga's getting to his spot. He's at a point where Huerter can no longer affect the shot. If he rises up and hits it. Here's another example of, okay, like Kerr definitely wants him to make this decision earlier, right? Like get the ball out of your hands or attack right away. But this is, again, good. Gets beat to the spot, stops, spins off, rises up, and there's nothing you can do, right? He self-creates a good look where, okay, even if he misses this, he had the space. This is a good in-rhythm, self-created shot. All right, so we'll move to the other side. And when I say bad, I don't mean like actually bad. He still makes the shot, and it's impressive in its own way. But I'm just talking about he needs to work on his footwork, work on his moves, and polish so he can self-create clean, in-rhythm shots all the time. And he doesn't just have to rely on his skill and size. Like in this clip, you notice they're up 16 with a minute left. He's just going to dance on shade, and he doesn't really go anywhere. Tough shot, still drills it, but you want him to create cleaner looks. Here's another one where he gets cut off by Najee here, but he should be taking one more dribble into Najee's body and then spinning off, and then now you've got that shot, right? Where you've got that in-rhythm, clean look where you spin off. Instead, he picks the ball up, kind of dribbles into him, shoots this fadeaway kind of contested shot. Still goes down, but got to create cleaner looks within these situations. All right, I actually don't even mind this last one too much. It's just a straight downhill drive. Brandon Ingram steps, watch him bump him off, get to his spot, rise up, and shoot. Trey Murphy almost blocks it from the weak side, but I don't mind this one. And this showcase is just like, he doesn't even need to do that much, right? Like, that is a simple drive. I get cut off, I bump you off to create some space, and I knock it down. And that just kind of shows, like, he has so many tools. This mid-range should be a weapon for him. All right, lastly, I'm going to close with some passing clips. I feel like oftentimes he gets labeled as a low feel, low IQ player. And I mean, that might have some merit to it. But again, he's young. The Warriors offense is really read and react and is tough to pick up on quickly as a young player. That's a great find to Anthony Lamb. Doubt we get much pick and roll reps with him, but this is a nice find in the pick and roll to James Wiseman. And then this next clip is where I think he can really thrive. He had a couple successful plays, but in this Draymond roll, the short roll advantage situation, nice pass to the cutting Kevon Looney around Joel Embiid. Again, never going to be an elite passer, but there's some stuff in there, and he can make certain reads and be successful in that situation. But I hope you guys have enjoyed and have a different, level of appreciation for Jonathan Kuminga and his game. Again, just dripping with athletic gifts, physical tools. Year 4, man, he should start to kind of merge his mind, and the game should be able to slow down for him so that he can just go out, be himself, and use those tools. I expect him to be really a large part of this rotation for the Warriors entering year 4, and I'm excited to see what he does heading into this year. Regardless, we're going to get some fun highlights with him. Thank you guys for spending a little bit of time with me. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy content like this. I appreciate y'all, and I love y'all. I'll see you guys next video. Peace.